Jack here with Hockey Alley. I got professional coach Joachim Fault. How are you, Joachim?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Jack?
Very good, thank you. Want to talk to you a little bit more hockey. The last advice you gave to the parents was very knowledgeable. It was great. A lot of people were listening to that one. And want to ask you, what month is it?
Yeah, it's called the Parents Month.
That's right. Con the Parents Month. Want to talk to you a little bit about, what goes on around this time of the year with the junior hockey, where they do the combines and those prep camps and all that stuff where they're sucking in money. Teams are raising money for their own, for their team, basically. They're not even watching the tryouts.
No, I mean, that's a big issue. And it's a really sore... I'm really irritated every year when you see all those North American clubs. They're having 4, 5, 6 camps in different states. And they're filling them up with 30 goalies and 200 players. And then on top of it, the roster is 80% full already. And the kids are paying $500, $600, $700 each just to be on the ice. And then honestly, there is no coaches there who really watches. Maybe once in a while you have something out there. But the thing is, what parents really need to understand is like they need to know the research about the clubs, because all the clubs too, they have scouts working in all the areas. So they should do the job. And then all the clubs too, they tender 10, 12 players before in every summer. So
tell them what tender means. A lot of people don't know what that means. Tender.
What a tender is like, I as a coach, I'm finding a player in another area and I'm worried that he's going to go play somewhere else. So I tender that player to protect him from other clubs, and I'm going to give him a chance.
So he can't go to another team in the same league, basically.
In the same league. But that doesn't mean that the kid has a place on the team. That means is that I have high interest in that kid. So, and then on top of it, there is no clubs, there is no coach in this world who needs to look at 600-700 players in 8 different states to fill the team and get a good team. It's all about making money.
And what do they use the money for? Let them know, because parents don't know anything about what's going on.
No, I think most of the money goes to the coach's salary and stuff like that.
Okay. What about bus trips and hotels? It pays their hotels and all their sticks and all that too.
Yeah, I think a lot of money goes to that too. And it's... But I don't know how many sticks each player gets for the clubs. They maybe get 2-3 sticks each, and that's not that much money. But I think a lot of that money too goes straight into the owners' pockets.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? If it's if you can invite 200 players and make $500 on each kid, why not? Why wouldn't you? That would be crazy not to.
Yeah, no, it's true. And it's like, and it's so funny too. You hear everybody, I'm doing this for the kids and I'm doing this for the kids. I don't believe when they say that, because if they do this for the kids, they shouldn't have 6-7 different prep camps, main camps, pre-prep camp, pre-main camps.
I can't keep up. I mean,
no one can keep up anymore. And then if the coaches did a job under the season, they should go and scout and look at the U16 AAA kids, and they should actually go do the jobs. And then they don't need all these camps along. The team is picked and chosen. You go to speak to the guy after some tournaments, and if you're interested, you sign them.
Yeah.
My advice to all of those kids out there and all of those parents, if first of all, when you guys get that bullshit email from some assistant coach, it's just a generic email they send out because they know some guy in the area who gets a hold of all the emails. Parents, what you guys really need to understand, if the club really wants you, the head coach will call you and he will talk to you and your kid, and he will actually really do an effort to try to sign you.
He's not going to talk to your coach, correct? He's going to talk directly to you.
Yeah, he's going to go straight to you. And if I am as a head coach, I know there's a really good player in Los Angeles, and I really want him on my team. I'm not going to take the chance that that team is going to go to 5 different camps and then hope that he's going to find me. I will look him up and I will call him and I will try to make a good effort to sign him. But all of those parents and players who they fly around in this country, they're spending thousands and thousands of dollars all to say that they went to a North American Hockey League camp. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
If a team wants you, the coach, the head coach, or the general manager will contact you and he will offer you a contract as quick as possible.
And you've seen it all. I mean, you've been coaching junior hockey in the United States for 24 years. And have you seen it all?
I've seen it all. I've seen it all.
In case they're wondering, who are you? What kind of experience you have in this, people listening? Well, why are we doing this video interview? Because we want to warn parents of what's going on out there.
Yeah, I've been a head coach in junior hockey for 22 years.
22.
Over 1,000 games coached on the benches.
And you coach pro hockey in Norway?
Yes, I coach pro hockey in Stavanger, Norway.
Yeah, and just people don't understand that. One thing is I had a student who made a team in the East Coast in New Jersey, and he went to that tryout. He made it, and so then he got an invite for the Fairbanks team. And what happened is I told him not to go because that was an open camp, like a combine that Fairbanks put together. And then I said, don't go, you don't want to risk injury. He said, and the mom said, you know what, you're right. So they got their money back. Anyways, about a week after the camp happened, they sent them an email, said, you look great out there. Sorry we couldn't talk to you. And then right there, the mom said, you're right. Because I was telling her the same thing we're talking about now, that they're money makers. And just, they don't believe it till they actually saw it. And then after that, he ended up going and playing in New Jersey for a couple of years of junior hockey.
Yeah, no, it's absurd. It's absurd how some of those coaches is treating the parents and the players. It's like all they look at the parents as a player is as they see dollar signs. That's all it is. They see dollar signs. That's all it is.
Yeah. And they ask him, what kind of occupation do you have and stuff? And then they go, oh, I'm so-and-so. Oh, okay. So they'll take advantage of them more because they know they got the money. And it's a shame that they do that.
Yeah, no, and it's never going to stop. It's because there's so many players out there, and there's so many parents who believes it out there. And there's so many moms and dads, they are just not educated enough. And then even if you give them good advice, they go straight against your advice. They just don't believe you.
Would you recommend a kid to call the teams individually and then have them come and watch him at a tournament? Or, instead of going to these open camps where you're not going to get looked at?
Yeah, no, I love that. I love when the kid take initiative and they actually shows that the kid is interested and he putting in some work. But I also like when the kids send game tape to coaches. But don't just send the good stuff, because most of the kids, all they send is highlights.
Yeah.
And it's like all it shows is that you do a dangle and a snipe maybe. Us coaches, we want to see more. We want to see it. We want to see maybe a full period, and that's the coaches who puts in the job, and he will actually study and see if this kid is something. But most of those North American teams, they have scouts in every big city in this country. Their scouts should be out there watching kids under the season, and then after the season is done, you need to trust your scout. And if the scout said, Coach, we need to sign this kid, he's good enough for our team, we sign him. Don't invite the kid for 3, 4, 5 camps and then maybe sign him. It makes no sense to me.
And it's free, correct? So when they go to a real camp for Junior A, North American or USHL, they don't pay.
No, the player coach really wants, they're for free. As soon as you need to pay money for a main camp, the coach is not really interested in you. Because back in the mind, the coach already know, well, this kid might not want to pay for this camp, so he might not show up. But if the coach really wants you, he's going to make sure that the camp is free.
Yeah. I never paid for hockey after 15, playing midget hockey out here, and that was it. After that, I never paid for hockey. So I just don't understand that they're paying for hockey in juniors. I know it's a budget for the teams, but I know how it works, and I try to tell people, and that's good advice right there, what you're saying. So if you know it's free, that means they're really interested. So that's how you know.
Yeah, and don't just accept an email from a third assistant coach or some scout in some area. It needs to be a personalized phone call from the head coach, because every team is after the season 60 to 70% full. So you're talking about the coach maybe only needs to call 8-10 players.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't put in the time to do that, why would you even want to play for him? Then it's not going to help you go to college anyway.
Yeah, it's true. And so if you have a kid who's not there yet and who's on the border of making one of those leagues, high leagues, what would you recommend for him? So there's a kid that maybe didn't get the phone call. You know, a lot of kids probably don't get the phone call. What should they do? What would be a good advice? I mean, there's no guarantees.
No, there is no guarantees. And, once in a while, you have to go somewhere. If you don't know people who can help you and get the foot in, you have to go to maybe one camp in your area to make you seen. But the first thing the kid needs to go when he goes to a camp, he needs to have a hockey resume. And he needs to be about school, about his education, about his goals. And that kid, he needs to walk straight up to the coaching staff and say, "Hi, my name is Jamie. I would love to play for your team. And here's my hockey resume. And I'm going to have a great camp." The coach put a red flag on you, and he got you right there. And he will study you. And he will take extra time to look at you. Don't just be the guy in the massive there. You need to go up and say hi, talk to them. Too many kids, they don't do it. They just walk in and out. They don't even look up when they walk through the lobby. They kind of like shy. Kids, don't be shy out there. You got to go out and sell yourself, and then everything is going to work out.
It's just like going to an interview for a job. You want to be the best at what you can do out there. And if you don't show your skills, or you're not playing because you're shy or nervous, then it doesn't work. You got to forget about that, throw that out the door and play.
Yeah. But usually, when a kid is good enough, somebody will find him. I mean, one of those examples is Tatar, who played for the Red Wings. I mean, he was living like 3,000 miles up north on some island, on some ice block up there, and they still found him.
Yeah, it can happen.
Somebody will see your kid, and then, sport is like anything else. It comes down to connections. You got to go out and you got to talk to people and, make a name for yourself.
Connections is everything. I mean, it was tough for me in California back in the day. Like when you call the team, they go, "Can you skate?" That's the first thing they ask. "Oh, you're from California?" And I say, "Listen, I've been skating all my life. I could skate."
No, that's true. A lot of coaches look at the area and said, "Oh no, that kid is from Oregon. He probably can't play hockey." And then they look at another kid. Oh, this kid is from Michigan. Yeah, we better invite him.
Yeah, or if they come in from Russia, oh, right away they got a spot, without even looking at them because they think it's just because it's Russian, or I'm saying not knocking the Russians, but you might have a guy who hardly played and he said, "I'm from Russia," and then right away they'll.
Yeah, and another thing, a lot of these parents and the kids get sucked into now is those advisors. Oh boy. And that's another sore subject. You have all these advisors. Kids are paid thousands and thousands of dollars to put their faith in some guy living on the other side of the country that he's going to put you in a good situations. But same story there with all those advisors. They are just going to send the kid to clubs where they know somebody, or maybe where they get a little bit kickback. That's how that world works.
So there's no advisor does for free until you make a team, and they all get paid beforehand.
Yeah, most of the advisors they take thousands of dollars up front, and then us good guys I help kids out for free. I never charge a kid $1 for anything like that. But it really feels like just because I help them for free, they don't want to listen. They want to listen to some clown who charged them $3,000.
We've seen that before. I've sent you players, and they you helped them and everything, and then at the last second they decide to go with another club. And it's not the first time. So I ask now, are you serious? Are you sure? Because you don't want to waste time. It's just a waste of time, and doesn't do any good.
And it's so important for the kid to end up in the right environment. It's got to be a good environment where you send the kid. But those advisors, I don't know how many they really know. I've been around junior hockey for over 20 years in this country. I know what clubs are good. I know what clubs not to go to. And I know what coaches has good reputation. And I know the coaches, there's different coaches. Some coaches, they pure just do it to winning hockey games. Some coaches just do it to make money. And some coaches actually do it to move kids on and help them out in life. There's a big difference there too,
Well, what should they look for?
Well, the first thing they need to do if they go into let's say a kid wants to play in a North American team and let's say he likes a team in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. You need to do your research. Go to the website and look, where have this club sent the players when they graduate from the team? How many colleges, where do they send the kids? Are they sending 2, 3 every year? Or is it a weaker team who sends maybe 6, 7, 8 kids every year to different schools? That's the first thing they need to look for. And they also need to look for the rosters, because the birth years are there. And if a team only have two players leaving, don't even waste your time to go to the camp, because the chance that you're going to make that team is very slim.
Yeah, they already got the spots full.
Yeah, it's full already.
Yeah.
They might already sign 2 kids last Christmas, and they won't say it. But then they're still going to have 6, 7, 8 camps, and they're going to look at 2,000 players, and it's just pure money grab.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed? The junior leagues that they pay money, they always stack up the team with like 27, 29 players and 4 goalies. And the ones that are free only has barely 3 lines. Like, they just get just enough guys. They don't have too many extras sitting out.
It's true, But
I noticed that.
Then once in a while, there is some good things going on out there too. There is some good clubs. They're working together. Maybe there's 3 or 4 clubs having a camp together in the city. Then, as a kid, now you have the chance to be seen by 3 clubs instead of just put all your eggs in one basket and go be seen by 1 club.
Well, how do you know the difference? So we told them those are money grabs, the combine. So what should they look for the difference between, the 3 clubs putting it together and, say, the combine?
Yeah, no, it's I don't even know what they call those camps anymore. But for example, when I was in Chicago every year, there was 3 or 4 Minnesota teams. They came in together, and it was just like a camp. Oh, they call it open camp, though, but it was 3 clubs, and spots were pretty limited, and so every kid there, they got seen by 3 clubs from Minnesota.
So when the
So
spots are limited, it's better.
yes,
Okay.
there has to be limited spots.
Okay.
I mean, if you are a goalie and you go to a camp, and the first day you step out, then you see another 45 goalies out there. I mean, you don't have to be pretty smart to figure out that it's just a pure money grab.
Yeah. I saw about a month ago, one of the junior teams sent an email to my student, and they were excited. They called me. And then later that evening, another student sent me the same email. And these kids are in different clubs, but they got the same exact email. The only difference was their name was, their personal name on the top. And I showed both of them, like I texted this one to this, and said this what, and after that they believe like, okay, there's just a lot of that going on. They just get the names from USA Hockey.
Yeah, it's just a generic email they sent out, but parents fall for the trap because it's a very inviting letter. It's well-written letter, and if you're not educated, you're actually going to believe it that club is actually interested in your player. No, yeah. He's not interested in your player. He's interested in you going to the camp.
Well, the one thing I would suggest parents to do is when they send you this kind of letter, call them up, say, where did you scout my son or daughter? Which game was it? And if they can't answer that, it's a fake.
100%. It's the first question. You as a parent need to call up and say, thanks for the letter. We were interested. Where did you see my son play? And what did he do good? Why do you like my son?
Yeah. And
then you're putting them on the spot, because if they're gonna give you some crap, well, they can just give you a random answer too, but don't take that. Every coach has notes on the players they are very interested in. If you don't have notes on them, then you're not a good coach. Then why would you want to play for him then anyway?
Yeah, not organized.
Yeah, but this has been going on for 15 years, and it's so hard, and it's the same story. And the worst part of it too, most of the players and kids now, after they've been there the first time, they know it's just a money grab, and they talk, oh no, that's just a money grab, but they still go.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. You took the words out of my mouth. They still go.
They still go, and then when the camp is over, they are mad at themselves, and it's like, oh, that was just a money grab. Yeah, you know that, but you still went.
Yeah. I just, want to educate the people, want to wake them up, because they don't know, and they're getting fallen into this trap. And maybe other sports are doing the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but some kids, though, they have to go to maybe one camp to be seen out there if they really, really want to play in that league. But if you're not contacted, if you play on a good club who goes around, and you go to all these tournaments and showcases, there is scouts there, and if they haven't spoken to you in a whole year and really contacted you, the chance that you're really going to make a North American Hockey League is pretty slim.
But you think a lot of times people pay under the table to get their kid in?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Because I see sometimes kids that are not talented that are making it. I see other kids that are very talented that don't make it. It's just not just that league, but I mean in general, just anything.
There's a lot of fishy business going on out there, and it's like, and it's too bad, and it happens every summer. You have, for example, here in Las Vegas, I think there's almost a camp every other week here with some kind of North American Hockey League or something like that. It's like,
yeah.
But kids come.
Well, I want to thank you, Joachim, for coming on and talking to me and talking to parents out there and the players and educating them on all this information.
Yeah, no, it's every summer is tough for a lot of hockey players and a lot of hockey parents out there, and it's easy to just run around there like chicken with no head and just go to camp after camp after camp after camp, and then wonder why they don't get to play on the team. It's hard. It's limited spots too.
Yeah.
I think North American team only have 30 teams something. That's only 600 spots available.
That's a lot of teams.
Yeah.
That's a lot of teams.
So.
Yeah. You got it. Have a great day. Thank you for all the information.
All right. Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.